Welcome to another great edition of Younger Life Live. Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm Rick Federici.
And I'm Mary Anthony.
It is a great day to be here, Mary Anthony. We have got some great friends back in studio here in the Younger Life Live studios. Our executive producer for today's broadcast is Sanders, and we're all glad to be here.
Beautiful day.
I'm thinking fun, and we both were just on Stone Lake, in Stone Lake, with Tour de LaPorte, tourtelaporte.org. Thank you to the LaPorte Hospital for their great sponsoring of this radio show on AM 1420. You did the walk. I did the broadcast.
I wimped out of the bike.
No whipping.
I did. I signed up to do it, and you know what? The money goes to a great cause. It doesn't matter. I did the 5K on Saturday. It was a wonderful walk. It was a great time. I did push it a little bit, and so I got up yesterday thinking, my hips are a little sore. How funny! What a wimp am I? But it was such a nice day that I opted to stay home with the kids instead of go biking. I was going to go alone anyway.
I did it for you. Norma did it for you.
There we go. I'm going to volunteer
cow.
Norma as my step-in.
It was absolutely great.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day though. It was actually a beautiful morning for the walk. Mm-hmm. It was kind of. It was a little bit windy and a little bit, you knew it was going to rain, and it downpoured afterwards. But
it did,
thankfully,
but you were done with your walk at that point, and I was done with my first of several broadcasts for the weekend.
And then yesterday was unbelievably gorgeous. It was perfect for all of the events. I mean, really, we had so much going on in the area yesterday, but for the cycling all day, I thought, you guys really lucked out. And then I felt bad later in the afternoon. I thought it was a really nice day for a bike ride. I should have went, but maybe next year. You never know.
I just want to let our guests know, Pamela Henderson and, of course, Jean Ann Cannon here with Doombrook in studio. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
I just want to let you know I had a little cardboard cutout on Norma's bike of Mary Anthony. She was, no, I'm just kidding.
You should have stuck me on the back of her bike. Like, hold on to her.
Ladies, like this.
This is how I'm going. Yeah.
This is how we do
How funny.
But thank you to everybody. Our community came together as always as one. We raised $75,000 last year, 1,300 participants. And this year, I hope the number goes up. I definitely know we had record numbers of folks for biking, running, and walking. I'm very proud of my wife. She is listening right now via the live stream. She did 25 miles.
That's fantastic.
It was tough.
Wow.
It was tough. We did the same course, and you know the course because you've done it.
I do. We did the 10 that day.
Crazy.
It can be rough. That was my other deterrent yesterday. I thought
it's like one of those.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. There's one part of the biking course, ladies, where it's at the very end. There's a little hills, dips up and down. Yeah. And so you go up and then flat, up, then flat, but you keep climbing. So once you get into that third tier, there's no turning back. And I have clips. I mean, I have a great bike from the bike stop in Michigan City, and my wife as well. And she's not a clip-in kind of gal. I am.
I'm not a clip-in gal either.
I was so afraid of doing the tumble over, Weebles wobble,
Weebles wobble, yeah.
But they don't fall down, and I didn't fall down.
Yay!
So
I know it.
we made it past all the craziness of the weekend, and we are here this morning. So it's great to
beautiful
be back.
day, a little bite in the ear this morning.
Very pretty.
Oh, it was just. Fall's my favorite, so I feel so excited about the day when you get up and it's nice like this.
Can I tell you what I saw? And I was telling the ladies up along the way, and I love our Doombrook partnership. I got a big event coming up called the Dragon Boat Races. We're going to talk about programs and stuff, Mary and I. Everywhere I went along the race route, all 3 days, I saw the cool little signage for your Dragon Boat Races. Are you guys rocking on that? Let's start there.
So excited. We're rocking on it September 10th at Stone Lake, and LaPorte Hospital is one of the sponsors, and anyone who wants to see what in the heck is this Dragon Boat Races, just go to Google, type in YouTube. It was IU Health LaPorte Hospital Dragon Boat, and you'll see Thor and the rest of the team paddling. They had a GoPro
how cool
camera that year on the drummer and could look down on the people, and it's just a great video to see what this thing is about.
Mm-hmm.
That's really neat. I'll have to watch that. I was reading it, I was on your guys' website, which I think is fantastic anyways, and that's why I'm so excited you're here. I think Doombrook does so much that people don't really even know about. And so while I was on the website, I was thinking, wow, I saw a couple pictures, but I really was curious. I don't really know. I've never been to the Dragon Boat Races, so I'm really interested to find out more about it. And how many years has it been going on?
This is our third year.
Really?
Woo! Good job, ladies. Seriously.
It was born out of the idea, one of our board members, Ted Przanowski, who with Tim Gartland is a co-chair of the event, he was in a large city, maybe Charleston, and it saw it going on and saw the momentum, the energy in the community, and wanted to bring it here. As a not-for-profit, of course, we're always looking for opportunities to raise money.
Absolutely.
Our services are no cost to families, but that doesn't mean that they're without cost. And we were looking for something that was different, something that no one else was doing, and also something that could bring out families because we are family oriented. And when you have a gala where it's later at night, it's really not conducive to bringing children there. So this is great for people to participate, but also for people also to come bring their families. We have family activities, we have food vendors. Families can come and go as it fits into their day, and
That's
to be
so nice.
on one of our great beaches, cuddling up with your beach blanket with lots of sunblock on. It's a great time to be together and enjoying your community, cheering on your favorite team, and also hopefully learning a little bit more about Doombrook. So if these families might need parent support in the future or might know of a family that needs some parent support, that would be great. And a lot of families already know us for families that have children in elementary schools, in Dunlin schools and LaPorte County schools. We've done a body safety program, and children from kindergarten to 5th grade have seen that probably at some point during their elementary career. So now they get to know who this organization is that's sponsoring that program.
I think that's a great
This
point.
is absolutely great. Well, I'm going to throw it to Jean Ann because she's the executive director of Doombrook. And I just had that little ding that you hear during our Younger Life live show, or people that are viewing us or chiming in or listening or both. They said they love you two ladies and you look great on camera. Jean Ann, could you talk a little bit about being the executive director? Let's get a little scope of Doombrook.
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Because it's a really awesome organization.
Right.
Please.
Thank you, Rick and Mary. Doombrook, people know, 27 years old, they do quality, great work, but what do? What they do is build healthy families. And what does that mean specifically is there is between a little over 30 home visitors. As Pam said, it's free of charge. We go into the home and support new moms, new dads, and existing moms and dads with their children on how do you have a healthy family. Not only physically keeping up with immunizations and going to the doctor and so forth like that, but emotionally. How do you cope with the family stress? It's very difficult. It's the most wonderful thing in the world to be a parent, but it's very confusing at times. So it's really for all types of families. And what we do is go in everywhere from 0 age to 3 to age 18 and help not only the parents, but the children cope with just life, everyday life skills. Again, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in the sense of life purpose. What are we doing here? As I said, we have 30 home visitors, 6 counties.
Wow.
6 counties. We see 300 families a month. And we also have the CAC, which does the forensic interviewing. When there's a child abuse situation, they do the interviews in a very family-friendly environment that's very supportive not only of the child who had the event, the problem, child abuse, but for the family. So it's really an all-encompassing support for families, both in distress and families that are just new and want to know information about parenting. We have parenting classes and all kinds of things, good things like that. And it starts really when they're expecting, and that we get a lot of referrals from the hospitals, from WIC, all different organizations. If anyone wonders, gee, is it appropriate for me or not, certainly call our 1-800 number and you can find out if our programs are appropriate. And if they're not, we do a lot of triaging, sending them out to community resource centers to get help. But I have to say, Rick, when you talk about my background in counseling, and when you look at our society and see all the violence and the crazy, crazy seemingly violence that goes on, I always say, what happened to them as a child? What was where did this anger build? Everything from Michigan City or our counties violence to international violence, the whole ISIS thing. What happened to them as a child that this anger grew, or they joined a group that was all about death and killing and power and
that
control.
They think that's
and,
okay. That's
yes.
always what I wonder. What happened that they think that's
Mary.
acceptable?
Right. So really, when these home visitors who are angels on earth go into the home and build trusting relationships with the parents, they teach them, how do you deal with conflict? They do role modeling. And literacy is a big part. We bring books on every visit, teach families, parents how to be with their children in a loving way, even when there's conflict. So it's a fabulous program. We have people that have been through the program and come back and talk about what the effect it's been on them, and it's really a great thing. So in a nutshell, that's it, Rick. It's such a big organization. We do so many things. We also have Westville Little School. So if you're in a preschool, 3 and 4 years old, and you want to go to preschool at Westville Little School, our teacher not only is a fabulous teacher, Erin Faust, but she goes, and Jamie, they go out into the home and do these home visits.
Aww.
So the difference piece, unique piece, and we coordinate with Purdue North Central, Purdue Northwest now, their early childhood program. So we have the top of the line curriculum, innovative, creative, but also that component of home visiting. Because I say it's like when you go to the doctor and the doctor asks you, well, do you eat cheesecake? No, never. And then you go into the home and the refrigerator is full of, you get my point. Being in the home and establishing a trusting relationship really gets at the core issues of a family that is problematic. And it is that trust that enables the parent to say, yes, I'm really struggling with XYZ issues.
Right.
And I don't have anyone for support. Can you help me?
That's a great point. Can you tell us, you said 6 counties. That's an enormous area. Can you tell us what counties you actually serve?
Yes, that is LaPorte, Porter, Newton, Jasper, and Pulaski.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a large area, my goodness. And
You're all going to be quizzed on this at the end of the show.
That's enormous.
That's huge,
I'm trying to
huge
wrap my brain
area.
around that. Wow. Now, as far as for families, a question that I have is, does a family need to be referred? You said they could give a call, or is this, they can call you just if they're interested or wondering if this is a good fit, so they can do that?
That is always the $1,000,000 question. We just finished our in the process of our strategic plan, but invited Friends of Doombrook in, and they asked that same question. I would just always recommend for any family out there listening, or for school people who have children or students who might be troubled, or counselors, just call our 800 number, explain the situation, and say, what do I do? Is Doombrook appropriate? Is it not? Most of the cases, I'd say, yes, we are, but maybe it's not appropriate. Say they have a homelessness problem, or they're having financial problems, or they don't know what to do because they're on welfare, and how do I get to a doctor and I don't have transportation, kind of problems. So that's when they call us and we can help them.
Wow.
Doombrook.org is a great website too if you guys want to connect with that. I also, got an instant text. Someone asked, can you ask the ladies about privacy? And I think that's a really great question.
That is a great
I would
question.
have never thought of it, but because some of us may say, it's going to be, but I would love for you ladies to expand on that if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. I would say it is totally confidential. When they call that 800 number, it is totally confidential. And actually, when we have home visitors that go into the home, that is confidential. If Mrs. Smith has a home visitor come into the home and Mrs. Jones is our home visitor, when they're out in public, we wouldn't even acknowledge that we know them. So it is very, our 27 years, our reputation is on confidentiality.
Wow.
Because it's so crucially important. Because when we're troubled, think of any one of us and we're struggling, we have to go outside of our family to ask for help. It's very scary. So we wouldn't be in business for 27 years if confidentiality wasn't kept very, very close to the heart. And it's really, we make sure. Pam, do you have any?
And we sign confidentiality statements annually. And back to referrals, it may be a situation where a parent has a physician and the physician says, I think that Doombrook could really be a benefit to you. Let me refer you. And so the parent signs a consent and allows that referral to happen. The same with WIC or Department of Child Services too, may come in touch with a family that needs some support. So it might be a little hard for that parent to make the call the first time, but when their trusted provider does that, and we can make that connection and build that relationship up.
It's
Absolutely phenomenal. Thank the LaPorte Hospital for obviously supporting Younger Life Live, being one of the sponsors of the Dragon Boat races. Get your pens ready, because sometime in this hour, we're going to give you information on how you can become a sponsor, how you can make a difference, and it's absolutely family friendly. And you and I know about that. We love doing family fun events, all of us here in this room, so it's going to be great.
It makes memories. Not only that, again, it does familiarize families with the programs somewhat, at least make them interested and aware that they're there, which I think is fantastic. You mentioned parenting classes. Are those just, I mean, anyone could just say, I'm just going to take, I know I've always loved parenting books. I have always, since I was pregnant the first time, I would just absorb them. I love them. I just love all the different takes, and some of them are more laid back and funny, and I kind of relate more to that. I feel like that's how we run our house a little bit more, is we're loud. We're
They're
a loud
fun.
bunch.
They're a fun
But even when
family.
we're not, we are loud when we're having fun. We're loud yellers. We're loud. We're just loud. We're a loud bunch, and that's okay.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to be that. That's why. But I was curious if they are they designed around a specific idea, or is it just parenting concepts in general? Positive.
We use a curriculum that's called Nurturing Parenting. It's been around for over 30 years, so it has 30 years of research showing national the impact of it. And it's nurturing classes are built on empathy, which is the ability to feel what someone else is feeling. And by being able to understand that, you can understand behaviors and attitudes. And it also teaches about age-appropriate expectations, discipline, family rules, family morals, and values. And typically those classes are based by age group. You'll have infant and toddlers, elementary, and then middle school. Sometimes we'll have high school age. It's a little harder to get those high schoolers to classes because it's very unique. The parents and children attend class together.
That's nice.
And so they'll come together for, typically it's a meal because it's right after work.
Oh.
And they'll do an activity together, the hokey pokey or potato sack races or something. And then they separate, and the parents will be in a classroom and the children will be, and each of them have 2 trained facilitators with them. But whatever lesson the parents are working on, the children work on a parallel lesson. So even if they're as young as 4 or 5 years old, they can work on a lesson about discipline and understand why discipline's important, the contribution that everyone makes to it. We just finished last week our class. It was 18 weeks. And as funding becomes available, we offer those classes too.
I see.
And in addition to that, sometimes it can be hard for families to commit to 18 weeks. Like you, I've wanted to take a parenting class, but 18 weeks,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, that's a big commitment.
It is. Fit it in,
So we have topical sessions, which are hour-long or hour-and-a-half long sessions that will focus on a very specific topic, like discipline. So parents can come for an hour and get an abbreviated version of whatever that topic is, and hopefully walk away with some new information. And then we'll also give them some handouts that they can refer back to. And maybe it's enough for them to say, you know what, this is something I'd like to commit to longer term. And then they can have a class.
That's really neat.
I like that idea and the focus of being able to at least take different,
a
ways to
different
approach
perspective.
it. Yes, exactly. I want to ask you, so someone's listening right now, someone's viewing, and, we've got the ladies from Dunebrook here, Mary Anthony, Rick Federici. Today's broadcast brought to you by LaPorte Hospital here on Younger Life Live. We do this Monday through Friday, 9 to 10. Pamela Henderson, of course, with us, Pam, and Jean Ann Cannon, who's the executive director. Someone's afraid to take that first step. They're kind of in a situation where they're, for lack of a better word, kind of freaked out. They don't know what to do, but they need help, and they're just kind of at their wits' end. I know that you ladies and your team can help. What would you suggest to them? What would be that first step? Because that first step, as we all know in this room, could be the hardest step, but it could be the most beneficial step. In other words, in making that difference finally to get to the next level.
Right. I would say you have nothing to lose by calling our 800 number. You call our 800 number, and even if a home visitor, first of all, it's free. Secondly, it's confidential. Thirdly, if you have a home visitor come out and for whatever reason it doesn't click, you never need to see them again. So it's like anything when you reach out for help, you really have nothing to lose, but knowledge is so powerful. So when you're struggling with something, it is a big jump. to ask for help because you have a lot of fears. So just call our 800 number, people, and explain what our services are and how to get involved, which again are free. They come out to your home, they assess the situation. We actually have assessments that they do to try to categorize, if you would, which area they need the most help in. But Mary, to answer your question, we really start from the positive. Every family has positives going on. So you build upon those positives, and really our goal is to empower the parent to trust themselves, to go ahead and move in those positive areas, and in the areas that they struggle, to get some new ideas. Gee, did you ever think when you're angry or you're exhausted and you come in after work that you take 5 or 10 minutes before you deal with XYZ that's happening with the children? Wow, I never thought of that. So sometimes it's just sharing ideas. Yeah. And one of the other things for parents is this parent cafe that's a whole new concept that our Lisa Sharp, who's our director of community partners, is starting up in a couple of the different counties. So that's parents sharing ideas with other parents.
That's neat. That's neat. And very, again, very beneficial when you don't, sometimes it really is just you're exhausted with maybe the same problem. I know, one of my nephews did not want to do homework consistently. My sister-in-law was at her wit's end. She said, I've taken his electronics, or he has to earn,
Right.
little things like that. And it sometimes just helps to say, hey, what did this parent do,
Right.
And just try those little things. I love that concept. I
Right.
think that's brilliant.
Perfect example for that, being that it's everyone starting up with school. If you get in the habit of walking home, getting home, and sitting for 1 hour, even with a 5-minute break in between the hour, where they're going to sit there and do homework, that is really, really important. It takes the onus off the parent, but from, say, 3:30, 4:30, sweetie, you're sitting down at the kitchen table and doing work, so bring something home. So the child gets in the habit of doing that. And then the parent doesn't always, struggle, making them sit down. So it's simple little ideas that sometimes parents never think of. And sometimes the dysfunction in a home is great. Sometimes it's not there. But when there's dysfunction and the parent is stressed out with a job or health or finances or, whatever, having some tools in place can de-stress the parent in dealing with their child. And that's when we need to share ideas. And that is really what it is.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's fantastic. You said you serve about 300 families a month. Now, what is the duration that typically a family calls and is, for whatever reason, needing services, and they sign up? Are they, do they choose when they're done with services, or is it more or less, one of your staff members says, I think you guys are there? I mean, how does that kind of work? What is the duration that they typically are involved once they call?
A great question. It's based on the program that they're in. And again, when a parent calls and it's determined that home visitation is appropriate for them, we determine what program is most appropriate. Our Healthy Families program, for example, has to be an expectant parent or a family with a child before the 90th day after birth.
Okay.
So if a parent has a 5-year-old, they can't get into that program. That's not a decision we make. That's a decision from the program, which is the primary prevention program for the state of Indiana. So the Healthy Families program, a parent can be enrolled in that program while they're pregnant, which is really ideal because, the health of a baby begins even before pregnancy. And then until that child reaches age 3. And then we help them transition into a preschool, early Head Start, or another preschool. Community Partners serves families with children from birth all the way through age 17 or age 18 and still living at home. That's a short-term program, 4 to 6 months typically, but they can re-enroll in that program too. So they'll work on some short-term goals, and then maybe several months later something else comes up, because with children there's always things coming up, so they can re-enroll in that program. Our parenting classes are typically 18 weeks long. Another component of Dunebrook is our mandated services. Those are families that have a substantiated or an open case of abuse, and Department of Child Services orders them into parenting classes, and those are anywhere from 10 weeks to like 27 weeks based on that family's level of functioning and how they perform on the assessments in terms of their parenting attitudes and what DCS is addressing with them as well.
I see.
So, and the visits start out weekly, giving parents time to build up that relationship with their home visitor. And as that family gains confidence, those visits might go to twice a month and then once a month as we transition them to completing the program.
Can you put this into a perspective too? Because I want folks to know if you're listening or, you're listening on the radio or viewing it, it takes time. It takes time to break the ice. We all know that. And I'm glad you brought that up.
Cycles
Yes.
of whatever.
Right. So what would you
issues
suggest? You got to step back a little bit, give it time, because you don't want someone, that may be listening or viewing right now, someone saying, I want to do this, but man, it's just not, because I use that negative Nelly attitude or that Debbie Downer where it's like, life's, listen, you got help here in Dunebrook.
Right.
Let them help you out. What would you say to that?
That's very true, and our home visitors are very, very good about recognizing that. Many of them are taking motivational interviewing training, which helps understand where people are at in their decision making and to help them work through to the next level. Because really, it's the parent that has to make the decision that I want to change these old behaviors. We're there to introduce new behaviors. One of the topics that really is hot and raises all kinds of comments is about spanking. And you'll hear people say, I was spanked as a kid and I grew up okay. But with all of the research out there, we know that spanking really harms children. It can impact their brain development. And so if we know better, we can do better. That's not to say that our parents were awful parents, but there are alternatives to that, and if we know those, we can do those. So we're really about modifying those parenting behaviors, taking all of the good things that we know, but maybe doing things better. My husband and I are a great example. When our daughter, who was 4, who is very high-spirited, we weren't putting her in timeout because that wasn't work. After an hour and a half of hearing her cry, I couldn't take it. We put Barbie in timeout. So
Barbie, that's
Barbie
good.
sat in timeout for 2 months though because we forgot about her. So that was not effective.
Right.
And as parents, we can say, do your homework, do your homework, do your homework. And you reach a point when you said it for the 50th time, tensions are escalating.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you need to work on ways to address that before you're so angry you can't handle it. Before it's 9 o'clock at night and you say, I don't care, go eat those M&Ms, just leave me the heck alone. Little things like that we do. Home visitors are really good at helping parents understand those behaviors. And like anything in life you're trying to change, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes weeks. You always have to be aware, not do it this way, let's try it this way. And when parents see the change in their children's attitudes and behaviors, it makes it easier because you're not having that yelling and conflict, and you really can enjoy being a parent. And we know it's the hardest job, but there's no job that's better than being a parent.
For sure.
It's very rewarding. And I think of myself, my mother used to say, and I went to Catholic school, and my story, Rick Federici, you made up for all 6 of my children. You're crazy. But I think I was just, you use high spirit, and I love that. I was just a flippin' spaz. You know what I mean? But in a cool way. And I love school and I love life, but I was bing, 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 bing always. And I think at 49, I'm still that way. I'm a big kid, but being a parental in especially in your generation, my daughters are 18 and 22, so it's a whole different other group, but taking away different things or I'm all about the no spanking because I feel it doesn't get you anywhere. But the things that you want to take away, a computer or you can't do that, or we're not going to allow you to go swimming, or you know what I mean? Taking away things that they enjoy.
Well, I think the perfect example of any of that is for our own household is a combination. There's no punishment that you can do that is going to work for every issue, nor should it. You shouldn't. My children know my kids will get a swat on their butt if they hurt someone intentionally or intentionally put themselves in danger with something they know better, like the road. We live near a river. They all know from a very early age you don't go by the river. And if they do, they're going to get a swat on their butt. Now, a spanking is very different to different people. And I think that's why there's always so much controversy around that. I know children that have been spanked with belts. I think that's horrendous in my own opinion. And we would never, to me, that's not a swat. There's a big difference there. But my kids know that what would get them a swat. Would I do that over sibling arguing, or would I swat my 16-year-old? She's taller than I am. That's nonsense. They all know, you know what I mean? There's age appropriate things that, you make those choices and you're going to lose your iPod or something is much more painful to a teenager, to my 4-year-old who would choose to bite someone because he's angry. You know what I mean? Right. Something like that. They have to learn nothing works for everything. You have to find what works for that child in completely appropriate settings.
Absolutely.
So that's why I think it's important maybe to...
And I would say, Mary, as you're talking and I'm visualizing any situation any one of us have had, they've been heated with our children.
Oh, yeah.
We as a parent lose control when we're out of control. And I've been out of control as a parent. So, in order, what the home visitors do with parents is, how can we stay in control? How can we as parents take a 2-minute time out, think about what's happening, what's really going on with us? Is it because they didn't brush their teeth? No, it's probably because, oh my gosh, what's happening in our life that we're getting that upset about an issue like that.
Absolutely.
So that is the glory and the beauty of the home visitors, is they help the parent see that there are different options and more effective, powerful options in disciplining.
Absolutely.
And part of that is us understanding what our triggers are as parents. So it's amazing how powerful it is.
I love the input when Pam, and I know she helped thousands of people listening or viewing out there, when you said, take a step back, you walk in the house, there's 3 or 4 things going on, and I'm telling you, that was probably a killer piece of information. Take a step back and say, take 5. Think about the situation,
Yeah.
Walk into it, and you really, I'm telling you, I've done that too, where you could be just like, okay, I love life and I'm all about positive and good energy and good vibes, but there are times in life where, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. That being said, if you've ever tried that, we probably all have in this room, where you take a step and you're like, you know what, hold on a second here. I'll be with you in a minute. Give me a minute. And you just, go put the clothes in the wash. You go change your clothes. You make your lunch the next day and you go, okay, I'll be with you in a second, honey. And then you do it and you come back and you're like, okay, you're a different human being.
Absolutely.
Well, you're ready to handle it differently, I think. And I think that's what's so important.
So agree.
That's why for us too, specific things, whether it's the not homework, we don't really have many of those discussions at our house because it's not allowed. You know what's expected. I should not have to nag. Now, that's not to say I certainly have too been the mother that's screaming and ranting and raving about, what did I say? You know what I mean? But at the same time, that gets us nowhere. So it's so much easier when my kids, I love when I know we've had a discussion about, okay, if this isn't done by this point, this is going to be the punishment. I don't have to yell. My kids will know. Or if one of my kids, especially my little ones, kicks their brother because they're mad, and will come in and say, I did kick him. They know they're supposed to get a swat for that, but I'm much more rational and don't, because they know they've done wrong. It's different. The discussions there shouldn't be any ranting and raving. We can say, why in the world would you do that? Now apologize to your brother. You know better. You know what I mean? It's so much easier when you already kind of have those guidelines. And I think a lot of times we get crazy, all of us, if you don't have a little bit of organization. And I think sometimes, especially parents that may never have lived in a household where they've had those kind of things already laid out for them,
never
a plan
been taught.
already made.
Never been
they
taught
don't
how to
know.
parent.
If they don't know any different, it's harder for them to form those own, those kind of things by themselves. So I think it's a great idea. You guys are a great organization. You help out so many people. The dragon boat races sound like a ton of fun. What can we do, or our listeners do, if they want to get involved? Are you looking for volunteers? Are you looking for people to actually do the races? What kind of thing can we do?
Let's expand on that, because this is really fun. How many teams do we have this year?
Right now we have 12 that are registered, and about 5 or 6 more that are real
full teams. Hold on, you don't know. So here's what goes on.
This is
Talking about a giant boat. Now, everybody, correct me if I'm wrong, in garb or in costume if they'd like, correct?
Okay.
There's a drummer.
Yes.
That is, now explain where the drummer is at on these vessels.
The drummer is at the front, sitting on a little stoop above everyone else, drumming to the beat to signal to paddle.
Okay.
So what is so awesome about it is
that wild?
you don't have to be powerful and strong with six-pack abs.
Yeah.
You want to paddle in time with each other, synchronicity and finesse. So companies that are looking for a teamwork activity or families, friends, churches, neighbor groups, you're paddling together side by side next to each other. And beforehand, the day before or the morning before, is a practice session. So people get comfortable with a seat, know how to hold a paddle. There's a steerer who's provided. The steerer helps them stay on course, and he'll be offering instructions so they're not going off.
That's what I was
across
going to say.
Stone Lake.
I'm a terrible rower, okay? I spun circles last time I tried. So I'm curious, are boats provided then?
Yes, everything is provided.
Yeah, and they're all
Wow.
long, so you're sitting right one in front of another.
The picture I saw, I was thinking, this
Yes.
is not a canoe.
No,
Hold that
like
up.
those-
Could you
no.
hold that up in front of the camera too, Mary? Your cam,
yes,
if you don't
okay.
mind, because I know that we've got a lot of great stuff.
see this?
Yeah, and if you could pull it
Right.
back just a little bit, there you go. Dragon Boat Races, September 10th on Stone Lake and LaPorte. By the way, if folks want to put those inside of their facilities, their buildings, their places of work, their churches, do you guys have stacks of those that we
We
can give
do.
away? I was
Give
gonna
me a
say,
call.
Aren't those great?
This is fantastic. Like I said, I was looking at the picture online
Right.
thinking, that doesn't look like a canoe.
Right.
I was just curious.
And visit us on Facebook. We post pictures of teams from the past, so you'll see like ADS, Acme Communications is there. They came with patches, parrots on their shoulders,
Oh, how
treasure
cute.
chests filled with booty, and they're in the photo
fabulous.
here. Midwest Eye Consultants, you can see all of these.
Pam, right? Who else are?
Roll them down, Pam. Come on, Pam.
Oh, okay. Well, ADS back for the third year as a Black Dragon sponsor. That's the highest level of sponsorship. Really happy for that. Our gold sponsors, NIPSCO Life Vantage, which is Tim Gertland's sister.
Nice.
Talk to Ted. And Tim Gertland is sponsoring a team with Edward Jones, too. American Rental here for the first time this year. Franciscan St. Anthony Health, Tim's wife. Spirit winners last year. Katie was dressed as a Viking. So
Awesome. How fun.
Dragon Boat Races are Chinese,
Yeah.
but it still was okay.
And you might want to throw this out there too, and just for a moment, we always talk about these different events, Mary, how it's great motivation for the companies. This is really
Yeah.
truly a great way for
Team
family bondings, church groups. Think about all the confirmation classes that are out there, Scouts, Girl Scouts, Cub Scouts, bonding team activities to get your badges. I mean, and
You're
then
right.
just getting everybody together. It's a whole different groove in life when you get together. It's kind of like when we did Tour de LaPorte this weekend, Mary, you and I, and there were massive community pillars out there with their whole groups, like Al's Supermarket out there with 30 people walking.
So
You know what I'm
good.
saying? Like
I'm
this
curious, how many
Dragon Boat
people are
races.
on a boat?
20 paddlers
that
and one
unreal?
drummer.
Right.
Okay.
So, and actually you can have as few as 16 paddlers.
So your
Sweet.
own team could be as few as
Yes.
Can I ask, like, if Mary and I wanted to challenge each other, maybe let's say we'll talk about next year, because this year I know it's crazy and we'll be out there early morning because we got Stuff a Bus that morning, 9 to noon. Could we be drummers? Or is that, are
you're-
those?
I would rather paddle.
Oh, come
You know
on.
what?
Bring it on. There's a good word.
Yeah.
for it.
All right, I'll paddle.
okay.
There
I would
you
love
go.
that.
Are
We
we
could
gonna be able to-
paddle next. We could make our own team. How fun would that be?
Okay, I like that.
That would be
I'd
awesome.
like
think
these
that
two
would
to
be
be on our team. These guys are
wonderful.
fun. Look at Tina.
That would be a great time. and
Right,
it's
there's still
great.
time. If anyone's out there and still
Okay.
wants to do a boat, we still can just give us a call and we'll explain the details and send you the information. And if you want to volunteer, we have all kinds of high school students and other organizations. But go ahead, Pam, with the rest of the group who's sponsored us.
Sure,
I think it's
sure.
important to mention
Midwest
that.
Eye Consultants coming back for a second year. UPS coming
Right.
for the first time.
I'm telling you, they do so many different events
Do they?
that I host and cater with some of the other great organizations like you guys. and they are tough.
Well, they're so used to lifting
Oh
things.
my gosh,
they're going to be a wicked competitor in there,
Come
you
with
know.
their war paints,
Right.
you know, and they're in their guard.
And yet we have older people on the boats too that aren't all muscles, and
Yeah.
it's
You
the
can
rhythm
be young
thing
as
that.
13.
That's it.
Older people like
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, like me.
But-
You're not old.
UPS, I love to say they know how to deliver. So we've had fun with that. Wintrust, a bank out of Chicago. They are a Green Dragon sponsor and sponsoring 2 decks. Best Western helping us out with some of the lodging for the people
Beautiful.
coming in from.
And by the way, I want to throw out to Jerry and Carol, who are the owners of the Best Western Plus Hotel and Conference Center at 444 Pine Lake Avenue in LaPorte. Huge supporters of not only WIMS, the radio station, do a ton of stuff with LaPorte Hospital. They were the official hotel for Tour de LaPorte this past weekend. Great Lakes Grand Prix, the Maple City Grand Prix, the event you guys are doing. And it's really cool because you could literally walk out of the hotel and right down the block, right to you guys. It's a really beautiful, it's a really
It
cool
is
place.
it is
Yeah.
a very pretty.
You can play golf in there, you could work out, you could swim.
Right.
We play Uno and Rummy Cube when the family comes into town on those little decks outside. But
Yeah.
the decks are on the inside. It's a
Right.
reverse hotel. It's really
Right,
cool.
right.
And going on LaPorte Seamless Gutter. Let me tell you a story about them. I don't know if they sponsor with you, but they
Yo.
should. But we recently at my house, unfortunately, had some water damage from all this. First people we thought to call LaPorte Seamless Gutter because I knew they were a sponsor of this. And so for businesses wanting to be sponsors, that business comes back to you. We know that many do it just because of the charitable intent they have, but also, I know I want to support businesses that support Doombrook.
Support live and
Yes,
local.
absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. The Convention Bureau, Jimmy John's, Dr. Jacoby and his wife Judy, Kelly Services.
Hold on, I got to
Naturally Wood.
stop you there. Judy Jacoby, is she in the boat this year?
No, she's a sponsor.
Okay,
but she's
cool.
not paddling.
Love Judy.
But maybe
Love
put a call
Judy.
out there to her. Yeah.
Give her a big hug for me, would ya?
CLHPC, Linda Huff, and Tony Gillisy on our board. Linda was recently recognized or nominated as one of the most influential women in Northwest Indiana.
Beautiful.
Excited.
Accountants.
Horizon and GIS coming back for the second year partnering together. They
That's
didn't think
nice.
they could get enough individually, but they came together. Of course, LaPorte Hospital. Cheryl Seitz, ID Plus. Her
I love
husband
Cheryl.
is Mike from
course.
the Chamber. Huber's Marine. They are doing so much for us, storing these docks. This year, brand new, we have dock sponsors, and your name can be on the dock for 2 years. We have 3 docks that will be
Wow.
out for the races. So just for $500 this year and next year.
By the way, when you go in to see Huber's, give Corey a big hug and kiss from all of us. And I have to tell you, everybody you're naming, they're all great people.
Yeah.
Horizon's really tough because you've got Charlie Keene in the group with General Insurance. They're tough. They're fun. I mean, like competitors. Then you've got Charlie in the group over at Horizon. You got those two together. That's going to be a team to contend with too.
And I think Craig Dwight was paddling
Oh my
last year.
gosh.
So-
CEO man?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know.
That was
Oh, I
just in
think it's a
studio.
good point that they're able to partner up because I
Yes.
feel like a lot of businesses they may need to pay. Maybe they're very small or
Right.
or
Only a few people would want to pay.
That's it.
Sure.
Don't have a lot of people that would be interested in actually doing it. Partner up. It's a great cause, and I didn't realize they could even do that. That's
And it's only
fantastic.
9 to 2, so you still have your whole afternoon.
Yeah, that's
Right.
nice.
So going on, Nielsen Kia, Hyundai and Pine Ford Lincoln, they have been a great
Is Jeff
sponsor.
going to be involved with anything in there?
He's a sponsor, but no, I think he's probably working that day.
Okay, yeah.
But I would love to see him out there.
Great partners.
Quibbit Networks and New Age Telecom, they're sponsored. Last year they paddled, and of course WIMS.
I love You know, I just want to tell you, ladies, this, and I'm thinking about this. Mary Anthony and her husband, she's got 5 kids, so there's 7 of the 20. If we wanted to tap in all of them.
Yeah.
You got Rick and Norma Federick. You got my 2 brothers and their wives. You got Sanders and his 3 young men. He's got 3
Right.
boys that are ripped, cut gymnastic dudes.
There you go.
So we got them. We got Tony Ortega. Tony could play the drums.
Yeah.
Tony's in the other room. So I'm
great.
thinking we got this guy. Mary Gelati could just look good.
Right. And how about the outfits? I can't imagine the outfits you guys
you
would come up
imagine that?
with.
We'll let her come up with the
Yeah.
concept. That would be
We
fun.
have some big old dragon trophy. Couldn't you see the trophy right
I'm
here
all
at
about you
WIMS?
guys. Wow.
I think it's just a great cause.
You could have a contest for your listeners some kind of crazy contest to fill the last seat in your
Ooh.
boat. Wouldn't that be fun?
We should make our challengers jump on with us.
Yeah. like to
Jackie,
push
Jenny,
those
and Dwayne.
challengers off the boat.
Right.
No, just kidding.
That is so mean.
I'm just kidding. I love you.
He said it, not me, guys.
We also want to recognize American Licorice, Nika,
They're
the
great,
electrical
sure.
contractors,
Sure.
Sweeney Electric, Central Rent-A-Crane, Fred Miller, one of our board members, and Swanson Center. And of course, NIPSCO has been very generous to us as well, and they're sponsoring the Doombrook team.
I'm telling you, between Nika, IBEW, Brian, and the crew, NIPSCO, which is unreal. If you got Don out there and you got Nick Meyer and that whole crew, they're all athletic.
Nick.
And then you've got the Swanson Center. We just had Ed Seal in here Friday. I know Ed, and some of these guys are like young. I mean, you could have a lot of like unbelievable people like teaming up against each other to compete. So I got to picture this in my head. So you got 12 boats. Are they on Stone Lake, ladies, at the same time?
No,
or is
there's
it one
only-
at a time?
They run heats.
There's
Heat.
Yeah.
I
Oh, they
think
do, okay.
5 in a heat. So
Wow.
that first heat is just to get your time. And the average, it's like 2.5 minutes to get across. You don't go
Okay.
across the biggest end of Stone Lake. It's
Okay.
from one end to the other. And then from that, we break it down so the fastest group stays with the fastest group, and then the
That's
middle group
great.
and the slowest group. So you get to race 3 times,
Okay.
and then we give awards for the
Right.
spirit, and then also for the fastest in each of those 3 heats.
And in between, there's Redemax, Great Lakes Catering, all kinds of food.
Good
trucks.
food.
Yum,
Yeah,
yum, yum.
you know, I did want to ask for just spectators, people that just want to come and watch.
Yes.
Do they have to pay to
Free.
get in?
Free,
It
free,
is
free.
Okay, that's nice too.
It's
Just
free.
Look at that.
Just come
Family
and
starts with an
cheer.
F. Free starts with
That's
an
right.
You know,
Just
yeah.
come and cheer,
Federici.
cheer everybody on.
Federici, thank you. Fun.
Fabulous.
Festive. Everybody come up
there
with an
we
F.
go. Yeah.
We'll have free
So-
activities for the kids. They'll get to take stuff home, make crafts. So
Oh,
it
how
should be
neat.
a lot of fun. So
Face
bring
painting.
your beach chairs.
Oh, okay. Now,
sunblock.
what happens if it is
Rainy. Rain or shine.
rain
No,
or shine?
rain
Okay,
or shine.
good. Good
Not
point.
lightning, but rain or shine.
Well-
So we would just hold off.
And I was going to say, probably for the children's activity, well, you know, you've been there a million times. This past weekend with Cummins Lodge and stuff, when it was raining, you've got the lodge, and
Right,
it's big.
right.
And then I'm sure there's tents and other things. So from that standpoint, but I would love to, like, I like riding in the rain. It's fun. Once you do it once, like, woo, as long as there's no lightning. But I could see people paddling and
Yeah.
going nuts. Kind of like Woodstock, where you lived on Stone Lake.
It was, it's just neat.
2 years ago, the practice sessions on Friday, it was like tornadic conditions.
Oh, no.
And the paddlers, because they had arrived to practice, we put picnic tables together, and with their paddles, they were on each side of the picnic table, sitting sideways,
Practicing.
practicing.
Oh, how funny. Well, you know, at least they still got to practice.
That's right.
I mean, because that's, I know I tried to row for the first time in a long time
That's
this
tough.
summer.
It really
I told my
is.
dad, we had been camping as an extended family, my parents, my sister's family, and they have
fun.
5 kids too, and so my kids, and we broke off into some paddle boats, and told my dad, into some rowboats, I told my dad, let me do it. Let me do it.
Oh, yo.
And he said, are you sure? At least let me. And I said, no, let me do it. I haven't done it in years. We kept spinning in a circle. My nephew said, Aunt Mimi, I'm getting dizzy. My dad said, just let me take over. Whatever, you know.
Hey, you tried it.
I
You
did.
did it.
I said,
Good
it's a
energy,
great workout.
good
It's fun. Let's
attitude.
do it. And, you know, we got a good laugh out of it because
Right.
it just kept going. But it was nice. So I think the practice is kind of essential.
good thing.
And so
we-
the steerer is not you part of your team, right?
He will be on the
That's
boat
automatic-
with you.
okay.
I mean, but he's
Automatically,
not.
They're,
right.
you
they're
don't have to
provided
right,
the
okay.
real.
Right.
So
You
that's
don't
the
have to
real
have someone
deal.
experienced
Right.
from your own
They'll
team. My
teach you how to
question.
do it right.
Okay.
To guide
Good.
you.
Good.
Because one of the challenges not to splash the people behind you.
Yeah.
You know, when you're on the
that's a
boat,
good
because
Or maybe.
Or maybe that's strategy. Strategy,
I have
right?
to be honest with you. If it's Federici and the hair's gelled, which it always is, I'm going first position, people.
You know, it's funny. I'm much more competitive. I don't care. Let me at
Look
it.
at
You know?
her.
It's
Why I
okay.
love her.
That's fun. That was
we
good.
provide a life vest, and then also each team gets a team bandana that
Oh,
is
cool.
separate to them, and they can carve out their own little area in the beach to theme
set
it
up
up
chairs
to
and-
help with the
Oh,
spirit.
neat.
And
Okay.
and Tim will be up on high on a lifeguard stand
Being Tim.
moderating the whole
Well,
race.
and I said that, Tim, as the first couple of years evolved and you guys tweak it every year, it's great. Tim has got so much awesome energy and I love him to pieces. So he is a perfect person to moderate, to keep things flowing and stuff like that. The crowds, the family bonding, I love it. I love that you guys have added children's activities, so many great community pillars there. So and I think it's wonderful. And quite honestly, support these great local companies. We preach that
It's
here
a lot of fun.
on
It is local
WIMS
companies, but
and
this is
Younger
a
Life.
great organization
Yep.
to support. So, and a lot of fun doing it. It sounds
Right.
like I can't wait. I
Really.
think it'll be really cool. At least to
Mary.
watch, even if you're not
Right.
going to join in, come and
Right.
watch.
2017,
it.
you better be ready because
think
Mary
we
Anthony
should.
and Rick Federici are just going to rock it.
I think
You're
we
gonna
should.
Right.
I think we should do it. I think
And
it'd be a
people
lot of
do
fun.
ask, what does the money go for? And it really does go for these programs.
Yeah.
Who helps families in our community? That really helps children do better in school, don't get into substance abuse, don't end up on the street, not increase crime in our community.
Awesome.
And I'm sure those children, it sticks with them when they become parents too. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
sure it really does. I'm sure it changes families forever. I would imagine.
There you go.
Dunebrook changing families forever.
Forever.
Thank you.
Can you guys throw out, because we've got a minute or so left here on Younger Life Live, can you please throw out your website, maybe some phone numbers, direct links for Dragon Boat, and take your time on that, but please.
Dunebrook.org is the website. Check us out on Facebook too under Dunebrook. You can call our 800 number, which is 800-897-0007. And stay tuned to the website. It's currently being enhanced and upgraded. And so over the next coming months, you're going to see a really just awesome thing. When you go to the website, you can go to the events and then download the registration. If you have any questions at all, you can call me or email me, pam@dunebrook.org. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find somebody who does.
There you go. One thing I forgot to ask. You said you serve 6 counties. Where are you actually located? I thought, we're talking 800 number, and where are you?
Our Michigan City office is at 7451 Johnson Road, right at the corner of 415 Johnson Road.
Oh.
And in Valparaiso, we have an office on Wall Street, just down the street from Goodwill on Calumet, if you know where that is. But most of our work is actually done in families' homes. That takes away the transportation barrier, but also our home visitors get to see the home environment.
Right.
They get to see if there's books around, if it's a safe place, and maybe make recommendations for it to be a safer home. Get to see who else is in the home and who's influencing that family.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
That
This
makes
is
perfect sense.
so great. Well, you hear our young lady singing in the background so eloquently and so ethereal. It's our Younger Life Live thing. Thank you for joining Mary Anthony and Rick Federici, Younger Life
Yes.
Live. Ladies, big round of applause
Thank
for
you.
you.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Rick.
Get out to those dragon boat races. It
Yeah.
looks like a great time. I think that's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Rick.
You guys got it. So obviously we got a lot of stuff coming up. Got a few seconds left. Younger Life Live. We got some challenging going on a little bit later on this week.
Yes, our challengers are going to be joining us later this week. Tomorrow we're getting oily. We're talking about essential oils tomorrow.
Nice. I love it. Right here with Younger Life. I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony. Thanks.